Hi, I'm New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin, and I'm here to join forces with the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association to share an important message about the risk of prescription opioids. Last year in New Jersey, there were 2,892 suspected drug-related deaths, with the majority caused by heroin or the highly dangerous synthetic opioid fentanyl. No one chooses a life of heroin dependency, and research shows that 4 out of 5 users begin by misusing prescription opioids. It is possible to develop substance use disorder with a single dose. So, if you suffer from a sports-related injury, it is vital to be informed. Please have discussions with your parents, your doctors, and other trusted medical professionals about the alternatives to prescription painkillers. The knowledge you will gain is critical because we do not want you to become the next statistic. Let us work together to fight against the opioid epidemic.
Quincy Enunwa, wide receiver for the New York Jets. I'd say that football is very demanding. The injury rate is really high. I think that kind of is the reason why our careers don't last so long. You know, a lot of guys, their careers max about 2-3 years. Every day you're at risk for an injury, whether it be a brain injury, knees, ankles, those type of things. We play a really physical sport, and the pads only protect us so much. Me personally, I've had ankle injuries, and the biggest one I had was actually a neck injury. Ended up with a herniated disc that got too far, and I had to have surgery. Obviously, surgery was the first thing, and it was really up to me if I wanted to take the opioids or not. It was obviously a thing where pain would be up to a tolerance, but it was really just for if I felt like it was too far. And so for me personally, I wanted to make sure that I did everything I needed to do personally without having to take the opioid, because I knew that once you start opioids, there's a high risk to not be able to stop them. You see a lot of people get addicted to it. And for me, I wanted to be able to be mentally strong as well as physically strong enough not to use the opioids. I had the luxury to not have to rush, so that also kind of helped me not kind of get addicted to opioids. I felt like I didn't have to rush myself to get healthy. I got injured before the season, so the months that I had to recover, I didn't feel like, okay, I need to pound these things to try to get back faster. And I think that's one thing that you should really focus on, is make sure that your body is ready. Don't rush it. Don't use external factors to try to rush yourself to get back. Make sure that you're back 100% naturally.
Opioids are medications that are used for pain that have been around for centuries. These are medicines that doctors prescribe for pain control after surgeries, traumas, car accidents. Medicines like oxycodone, Vicodin, Percocet, Narco. Similar medicines are also sold on the street as drugs of abuse, the most alarming of which is heroin. What starts out as just a few pills for a simple sports injury can lead to addiction and even death.
Hi, I'm Heather O'Reilly, professional footballer for the North Carolina Courage. I've won many championships with the U.S. Women's National Team, Arsenal, the Olympic team, and many other professional teams. I've fractured both my legs, I've pulled a lot of muscles, and trust me, I do rehab on my ankles every single morning. One thing that I never did throughout all of these injuries was abuse opioids. When I was injured, I spoke to my doctors about different ways to relieve the pain, so I didn't have to turn to opioids. I would do therapy, I would do physical therapy, I would do massage, I would do ice baths, I would do a lot of different things instead of automatically turning to prescription pain pills. It truly is not worth it. Your long-term health and well-being is so much more important. As frustrating as it is to not being able to be on the field during an injury, it's very dangerous to turn to opioids.
In high school, I loved everything about football, the team aspect, games, like working out, spending time with the team, everything about it. And when I broke my collarbone was the first time that I actually went to a hospital and was prescribed opiates.
I was playing field hockey, and I went to stick my stick in to get the ball away from a girl shooting, and she just came down right on my hand and smashed my hand. I know that they prescribed me Vicodin for that because I was in a lot of pain, and I took one.
I was on bed rest for about 6 months, and eventually they just cut all the medication. It wasn't a taper point. It wasn't like we're gonna wean you down. It was just no more. And I was at home, I was sick, throwing up. I didn't know what was going on. And a buddy of mine that would come over, and when I was on bed rest, we would hang out. He said, "You're withdrawing right now, that's what's going on." And he said, "Here, take this." And that was the first time I shot heroin.
It's all fentanyl today, it's not heroin. So even with cocaine, they're putting fentanyl in cocaine now. So you think you're doing cocaine and you wind up overdosing from fentanyl. It's really like any of it today is you don't know what you're getting.
In a short period of time, it led to homelessness, overdoses, abscesses, robbing houses, other people's houses, all sorts of things that I normally wouldn't do if I weren't under the influence.
Really, I wish that I never tried it that first time, because that's what started the whole thing off, you know.